Imagine a world where magic isn't a fantasy, it's a forgotten history, buried under layers of patriarchy, fear, and silence. It is 1893 in New Salem, Massachusetts, and three sisters have been torn apart by time, tragedy, and the crushing weight of societal expectations. But now they are back together, and they are done asking for permission. Welcome to The Once and Future Witches, the lyrical, haunting, and fiercely feminist historical fantasy by Alix E. Harrow. If you love rich, atmospheric prose, slow-burn magical systems based on language and rhythm, and stories that explore the raw, unfiltered power of women reclaiming their voices, this audiobook will completely consume you. It is a masterclass in speculative fiction, blending the gritty realism of the suffrage movement with the awe-inspiring wonder of a magic that demands to be heard. The narrative kicks off with the reunion of the Eastwood sisters, June, the pragmatic scholar, Bella, the rebellious socialite, and Beatrice, the quiet mystic. They are drawn back to New Salem by a mysterious letter and a growing sense of unease as the town prepares for its tricentennial celebration. The atmosphere is thick with the smell of old paper, the rustle of petticoats, and the creeping dread of knowing that something ancient is waking up beneath the cobblestones. Harrow excels at capturing the psychological toll of repression, making every whispered spell, every hidden ritual, and every act of defiance feel like a high-stakes gamble where the price of failure is not just death, but erasure. At the core of the book's massive appeal is its spectacular linguistic magic trope and the brilliant Sisterhood Reclaimed dynamic. This isn't a story about waving wands. It's about finding the right words, the right rhythm, and the right voice to change reality. Watching the sisters reverse engineer lost spells, navigate the treacherous politics of a town built on witch hunts, and use their combined strengths to outsmart a patriarchal system that wants them silent is incredibly gripping. The audiobook narration brings the visceral impact of the magic to life, making the cadence of a chant, the scratch of a pen, and the heavy silence of a suppressed truth feel incredibly real and deeply immersive. But beyond the spectacular magic and the historical setting, the soul of The Once and Future Witches lies in its characters and the heavy burden of memory. The sisters aren't just witches, they are deeply human individuals struggling with the moral weight of a past they can't remember and a future they're afraid to claim. The emotional anchor of the story is their fierce, complicated bond with each other, a relationship fractured by jealousy and misunderstanding, but bound by blood and shared trauma. The audiobook format elevates these intimate moments, making the quiet, desperate conversations in dusty libraries feel just as impactful as the explosive, reality-bending climaxes. As the plot accelerates towards its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. The town's dark history reveals itself as a coordinated effort to suppress female power, forcing the sisters into a spectacular, high-stakes confrontation during the Tricentennial Festival. The finale is a breathtaking display of linguistic brilliance, overwhelming communal power, and raw, unbridled courage. The sisters don't just survive the assault, they rewrite the narrative, delivering a deeply satisfying, emotionally resonant payoff that proves humanity's greatest weapon isn't its strength, it's its voice. The Once and Future Witches is a triumph of the historical fantasy genre. It is smart, beautiful, and unapologetically powerful. Alix E. Harrow has crafted a novel that perfectly captures the thrill of the ultimate underdog rising to speak. Plug in your headphones, open your heart, and join the Eastwoods. The past is silent, but their future is loud.